Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're the Movie Couple. I'm Dustin.
I'm Wendy, and here is our review for Karate Kid Legends. After moving to New York City with his mom, Lee struggles to let go of the past as he tries to fit in with his new classmates. When a new friend needs his help, Lee enters a karate competition. But his skills alone aren't enough. With help from Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso, he soon learns to merge two styles into one for the ultimate martial arts showdown. Listen, I was very excited for this movie when I saw the announcement for the cast, because what are the odds that they're going to try to merge the Jackie Chan Karate Kid movies and the OG karate movies, and especially coming off of the high of Cobra Kai. And when I saw that it was Bang Wang being the Karate Kid for this movie, I was really excited because we got to see him in American Born Chinese. We had a whole reaction on the channel for that, and we really enjoyed him in the series. So I was like just really rooting for this kid because he was so likable in that show, and it's safe to say he's also very likable in Karate Kid Legends. Like, you want to root for this kid, and his performances, when there are more like emotional parts, he's very sincere, and the action, he really holds its own. Like, the kid is trained. I think he has a history of being a martial artist, and he gets to show off in this. And not only that, like, he gets to do it with the Jackie Chan. And of course, not Daniel LaRusso, but Ralph Macchio, but also Daniel LaRusso.
And that is honestly the big appeal about this movie, is that you're going to be bringing in Ralph Macchio from the original franchise and from Cobra Kai, and the fact that you got Jackie Chan and that you got Bang Wang, who's just who's an amazing actor, and also, I've seen some of his videos that he's done of his martial arts, and he is legit. There are a lot of scenes in this movie where you're like, yep, that is definitely 100% him doing those fights. Yeah. And that was really what really got us into this franchise, or not the franchise, but really into this movie, and excited for it. And the trailers were really cool, and there was, potential for really good fight scenes, and it was going to really follow just that storyline that we know and love, of being brought into a new city, a new environment, and there is now a new threat that you have to fight in a tournament style.
Yeah, as always. I feel like this movie, yes, it's a Karate Kid movie, but it's also very Cobra Kai coded, in the ways of like some of the line deliveries, and I feel like they did it kind of also in the original Karate Kid movies, but specifically just because I think Cobra Kai is the most recent things that we've seen, is like when one of the antagonists would enter the screen and deliver their line, there'd be that like whoop, like sound effect. Yeah,
you kind of get
and
the
I was
dun,
like,
dun,
oh,
dun.
Yeah, so I loved seeing that because that's what I have gotten so used to out of these, Cobra Kai, Karate Kid franchises, that without it, it would feel, I don't know, there was like a sense of familiarity to it that I really liked. Now, one of the things that I was wondering how they're going to do is merging the Jackie Chan Karate Kid movie and the Daniel LaRusso Karate Kid and Cobra Kai kind of into this one movie. So they do explain it. I don't know if I want to say it in this review, because I kind of want you guys to find out on your own. They do find a way to do it. I do feel that, and I bought into it. I was like, look, we're here for Karate Kid. We're going to sit here. We're going to go ahead and buy into it. But it does feel, to me anyways, a little bit shoehorned in, a little bit forced. Not that it's like fake or anything. I was just, it's convenient in a way. But when they said it, they kind of sewed it, and they do it right on the very top, just to kind of get you settled in. They're like, this is what's happening. This is how we're merging the franchise. There you go. And then they go into the movie, and you kind of go, okay, I see what they're trying to do. And without that, you have to have that right at the top. Yeah. Or the rest of the movie, I mean, it'll work, but it'll be like, so what's the connection? So you're not sitting there wondering why there is, the connection. So we'll let you guys find out about that connection on your own. Come back to this video once you've seen the movie and comment in the comment section and let us know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, and honestly though, the way that they wanted to play this gimmick, the way that they're trying to get these two franchises together, you kind of just have to be like, don't think about it too much, and just be like, okay, this is the way that they're going to be doing this, and just kind of just go with the flow. And I feel like that's a better way of doing it, of kind of going into it. Don't think too hard about it, and just be kind of like, okay, so the whole point is to get Danny LaRusso there so that you can have just these franchises kind of coalesce into one. I do feel like it was kind of like, yeah, like you said, shoehorned in there. But there's a lot of things about this, the plot line and the flow of this movie, that you kind of have to, that's what you kind of have to do to kind of really get the most enjoyment out of this movie, is to kind of be like, you know what, that's just a detail, let's move on, so that we can kind of just, I didn't go to this movie looking for that deep plot.
Right.
Hook.
You want to go in and have fun and watch cool karate and some kung fu and Jackie Chan martial arts on the screen, and that's what we got. And the movie, you know, it's not too long. It's under 2 hours. It's like 140 or something like that.
I thought it was even shorter than that. I thought it was like 136.
Sure, yeah, probably. And I feel like at times it dragged, so it felt long, you were sitting there longer than the 130 something. But also at the same time, there's certain parts of the editing where it felt like, oh, they took out too much. What happened there? Because then they resolve it later, and you're like, well, that's so convenient. And I felt like I was missing big chunks out of it because they wanted to hit a specific runtime, it feels like. So it left me wanting a little bit more from certain characters' arcs and certain stories. But with that said, the overall theme is you have this kid who is new in the city, so he has to try to make new friends. He has to kind of, you know, settle into a whole different lifestyle, and he makes new friends. This new friend is in some sort of like trouble, and the one way to kind of make it so he could help was by entering this karate competition. But here's the thing with Lee's character, that's played by Bang Wang, is that he has a lot of past trauma that has to do with kung fu and martial arts. And so not only that he wants to like help his new friend, but it's also he has to overcome this trauma. So they're kind of fighting each other. And it was interesting to see how they try to portray that on screen. I feel like one storyline overtook the other, and they kind of missed the mark. Like, it was fun to watch still, but they kind of missed the mark with it.
Yeah, I feel like they should have really just focused on one of these storylines that they were focusing on, either the family storyline, the friendship storyline, or the competition storyline. And I feel like they could have been able to have weaved it together if they would have picked a road, so to speak. And maybe they did that with a lot of the footage that they cut out. But one of the things that I did like about it, and that I did kind of buy into, was the characters themselves.
Yes.
I actually liked spending time with these characters, even though I feel like a lot of the big moments that were supposed to be in the movie were edited out.
Yeah.
I feel like the actors still did a good job. They were still likable. What is it called? Maya's dad, I think, was likable.
Did you all know Joshua Jackson was going to be in the movie? Because maybe if I knew, I forgot, because when he showed up, I was like, Pacey, what are you doing here?
And yeah, honestly, everyone who's in, I mean, all of the roles, they're done very well.
Yes.
Now, the dialogue and the story structure and the plot points might have been hit or miss in certain places, but the actors came in and they did their job.
Yes.
And they made them likable. I think it would have been more likable if the script would have been able to hit these plot points a little bit better.
Yeah, I also kind of wish that, and I know it's a Karate Kid movie and we're focusing on the legend, so it's hard to, and they are really focusing on kind of like the good guy side of the things, and so we really had the spotlight on our main three, which was Bang Wang's character Lee, Mr. Han played by Jackie Chan, and of course Danny LaRusso. But I wanted them to show just a little bit, and they started to, a little bit of light on the kid who was the antagonist and like his dojo and his master or his sensei. And I wanted to get a little bit of that, because I feel like for a Karate Kid movie, you want to also know about the villains.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's how we got to kind of have that whole fan base behind Johnny and for Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
And they were starting to go into it a little bit more, and then it's just like, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to focus on the other stuff. And they were focusing on so many other storylines that I wanted to connect a little bit too with the villains of the story, because I think that would have been fun also.
Yeah, because with the way it kind
And we
of turned
didn't-
out,
yeah.
it was a little bit, though the villains were very kind of shallow, and a little bit of the, where like, you don't understand their motivation. You don't understand why they're such jerks. And there was one thing that you're like, wait a second, the sensei really only had like 1 or 2 lines in the entire movie, but yet he's placed in the arc, or the whole purpose of his story is actually really important.
Yeah.
And I feel like they really missed the ball.
He could have gone full Kreese.
Yeah.
There was potential. Like, I mean, there's Kreese, and then but like, they could have delved into it a little bit more, and they didn't, because, and I'm not saying they need to mirror what we've seen in Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, but when you are a sensei and you have this star student that's training under you, and he is successful and therefore makes your dojo successful, there's that bond there. Whether you're the good or the bad, and I wish we got to see that. But nonetheless, this movie is a lot of fun. I wanted, characters that I could buy into. I wanted great, action pieces, and the actions are good, and there were 2 specific scenes I kind of want a little bit more from it, but there were 2 specific scenes that was very Jackie Chan.
Yeah, you can tell he was the one that choreographed this.
Or they choreographed it with him in mind, because when I say this, because one of them he wasn't involved in, like, he wasn't physically in them. So like, I can hear the argument saying like, well, if Jackie Chan's gonna be in a scene, he's gonna choreograph it. Yes, I know that he would do his own stuff, obviously, because he's a master at it. But this one scene that it has Bang Wang in it, and I like how they just, like, there's comedy in it, there's good fights in it, good fighting in it, and he also uses the environment that Jackie is like. It's just very Jackie coded.
Yeah, Bang Wang did a really good job on mimicking Jackie Chan's style of fighting.
Yeah. So overall, it was fun times. Let's go ahead and get into our rating. If you want to check out the Movie Couple rating, it's listed for you in the video description below. Look, I already said it. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to enjoy the characters. And I wanted to see how they were going to kind of merge and unite all the franchises together. I think it was successful. I'm going to go ahead and give this movie a matinee it.
For me, I thought that this had some good potential. I liked the characters and the actors, and the fight scenes were decent. But it was really hard to stay in the movie with the way that they had, like, some of their gimmick mission of trying to mash up the 2 franchises, and the story and the plot points and the pacing were very weird and just did not hit for me. I'm going to give this a stream it.
There you have it. That is our thoughts. Oh my gosh, and before we end, there is not like specifically like a mid or end credit scene, but just stay until the credits start rolling on the screen. Just stay there. You will, if you're a Cobra Kai fan, if you're a Karate Kid fan, you're going to be glad that you did. And that's it. That's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know your thoughts on Karate Kid Legends in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next video.